you start a project with next to nothing there, and at the end of it, you can look at it and take some pride in it. To be like, I did that.
I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Danny Slab here, What They Want podcast. You like what you see behind me? Comes from these fingers. So you want a painting, maybe you want a t-shirt, maybe you want some tote bags. We got more than that on my website, so check it out, SlaboArts.com. Danny Slab here, What They Want podcast. I'm here with my man Snow.
What's going on? What's going on?
We got a special guest for you today. We got 816 Stoney in the house.
Yes, sir. What's going on, man? It's 816 Stoney Shot It.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so we got him from behind the camera to in front of the camera now.
A little bit different.
So this could be interesting. He doesn't know how he's gonna behave because this is a unique situation for him.
It is. I'm normally behind there. You guys don't see me a whole lot.
He's behind the scenes for sure, but now he's in front. Yeah, so all right, well let's get it started, man. First off, man, tell the people about yourself. Tell you about, how you got into the gig and what you do.
Man, so my name's 816 Stoney. I started 816 Stoney Shot It. I'd say I've been doing it about 14 months now. Last January was about when I started. My first event that I went and did professionally was Sleazy World Goes first Sleazy Day and Friends.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just showed up there with the camera. One of my friends, Chef Smokey. Shout out Chef Smokey. I just happened to be giving him a ride there, and I was gonna be taking some pictures for him and stuff, anyways. And I got in and kind of finessed my way into being able to get on stage and stuff. Thanks to some connections and people I already knew and had, I was able to get on stage at certain points and get some dope shots and some videos and some pictures. Nice. And from there, just also being backstage with Chef Smokey with the food, I was just able to make some dope connections and actually kind of jump into doing this video and picture work kind of head first, really.
That's dope, bro. So what do you love shooting the most?
Professionally or just like as my hobby? So, because I've been into photography and just playing with cameras and stuff since I was a kid. I've only been doing it, like I said, professionally for about 14 months, but I've been playing with cameras and stuff since I was a kid. I guess like personally, like as a hobby, I really love shooting like landscape and like cityscape sort of stuff. Just like I'll go in the middle of the street with my camera and just like as cars are coming by, just with the lights and everything in the city. Like I love getting pictures like that. That's kind of my favorite stuff to do. We're just out in the like real long drive. I'm out in the middle of the country somewhere, and I just think it looks like a really dope picture. The way the sun and everything's blowing or whatever, I'll stop and I'll take a picture of it.
Damn,
but it unfortunately that type of stuff doesn't really pay a whole lot to do. So
Hey,
professionally, I work with a few different teams. We do podcasts. I do music videos. I've got a photography studio that I work with a couple other people with. It's not just a photography studio. It's a photography studio, podcast room, recording studio, kind of a all-in-one stop and shop sort of place. So if you're any sort of creative, definitely tap in and we'll see about what we can do for you there.
Bet, where is that?
It's 1409 Southwest Boulevard. It's called the Creative Space.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So let's see, man. You obviously shoot a lot of music videos. You've been at concerts, obviously, and stuff like that. What made you pick up the camera, bro? Because you said you've been doing it for 14 months, but beyond that, what made you so, I'm not going to say infatuated with it, but what brought your passion to a camera?
Honestly, I think just as a kid and everything, like I said, I've been playing with cameras whenever I got the chance from when I was a kid, whether it was actually like a nice like a DSLR mirrorless camera or even just one of those little cameras you got to take to like CVS or Walgreens to get developed. Like anything, like I had.
The little Polaroid.
Yeah.
Click, click.
That was probably the first camera actually I ever played with. I remember my parents had one of those like big old Polaroids that like you had to fold the top up and everything, fold
Load
the
the
bottom
cartridge,
down,
right.
and yeah.
Load the pack of them.
And it's just I think it was just kind of as I got older and got understood what I was doing because I played with them as a kid just to play with them and see the flash and hear the click and stuff. Didn't understand what I was doing. I was a young kid playing with them, but as I learned how to use the camera and stuff, I think it was just kind of being able to capture the moment and kind of freeze that point in time, like, and now as I've started to do it professionally, it's being able to take pride in something. Like at the end of the day, like because I've done a lot of different stuff prior to ever picking up a camera and everything like professionally, so it's similar to like construction. You start a project with next to nothing there, and at the end of it, you can look at it and take some pride in it and be like, I did that. I was a part of that.
For sure, 100%.
That's something that's gonna last longer than me.
Damn. So you're kind of just into it. Just the same thing with music, because like music, man. No matter if you're here today, gone tomorrow, like that's just gonna last forever.
Absolutely, like
you're creating a legacy not just for yourself, but for your, you know.
You're making art, man.
It definitely is. It's definitely it's its own art form. Breaking down how, because to me and another photographer, we can take the same exact picture, but we can be using the same camera, everything, but how he goes and does it, and or he or she will go and do it and edit it and put it together and send it out versus how I'll do it or how the next person will do it is going to be entirely different for the most part.
Of course,
like,
100%.
We've all that's the great thing about art. I mean, all the dope artwork behind us and around us here, like none of them are the exact same. They're all different, but they all started off the same way, just as a blank canvas.
Damn, you're right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, facts.
That's actually some deep shit too. Like that's some deep
just
shit.
To be able to create something from like everything has to start from
scratch
nothing at some point.
Absolutely. Like, I'm not trying to be like all like whimsical or deep or like extra woke or anything like that. Like it's just
it makes a lot of sense though. Just you got to start from a point of almost nothing.
Definitely. And it I've been blessed to be able to come into the game of how I did with it. I already had a lot of personal connections and relationships with different artists and DJs and promoters and stuff. So
was that because you're big into the scene and you just really love the music, or?
I've always loved music. I was never really big in the scene as far as like being outside. Honestly, like I'm actually probably pretty antisocial. Like I don't care for people in general for the most part, but at the same time, like I'm super charismatic though, because like I'll sit here and I'll chat and I'll smile and I'll have a good time, but for the most part, I'm not a people person. But I'll go out to try to put myself outside of my comfort zone and do a little bit more. And because as much as I would love to just lock myself away, I'm not ever going to get anything done or grow or become better.
Right.
Kind of move on to the next thing without stepping out. So
yeah, even with stepping out, like I mean, I bet you probably sit there on YouTube and stuff like that and go through multiple people's interviews, videos and stuff like that, and go from there. You're like, all right, bro, they did this way. Okay, maybe I can dictate it and change it maybe this way.
That's why
that's how it dictates your art.
I love to look at different people's stuff and see like, okay, that's dope how you did that, and I want to try to do that myself, but kind of put my own style and twist in it. So like even watching TV shows or watching movies anymore, since I've started doing this professionally, has been entirely different for me, because like I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I actually understand how that shot was created, like that transition to the next shot, that the effects, everything with it, like that's dope as fuck. Like I want it, eventually I'm gonna be able to be doing that stuff, like same type of stuff. So I'm still studying it, kind of like I'm still. I network with other photographers and videographers. I'll go work with them on projects and collaborate with them. Just to not necessarily take advantage or just steal anything from them by any means, but kind of see how they do things.
Soak up game.
See if I
Yeah.
can see if I can learn something. See if I can adapt it to my style and how I do stuff. I'm gonna try it myself and see if it works for me. If it doesn't, and how I can tweak it to make it work for me if I do like that style in that way.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
If you spend, I was doing that. If you spend 4 or 5 hours with the dude who's good at something, even if you only take 1 or 2 things away from that's positive, that helps you, it was worthwhile to be there for it.
Absolutely. Like I've collaborated with a handful of other people. Like, one of my most recent projects that I collaborated with another person with was Six Media Collective. He did a video for Trey Nelson, and I just seen he had made a status on Facebook, and he had just was looking for anybody that was willing to learn or anything. I think he was honestly looking for somebody who was
An
a little
assistant?
more, not necessarily an assistant or anything. Just looking for people that were willing to learn, wanting to pick up some free game and possibly help out and get some extra shots and stuff. But I think honestly might have possibly been wanting somebody that was a little bit more new and didn't know as much or wasn't as necessarily in tune. And I don't know, in all honesty, because I was blessed to have the opportunity that he let me be there and everything. So I took what I could from the opportunity. But it when I showed up, I already had a decent amount of knowledge of what I'm doing. I've already got some pretty good equipment and everything that I'm working with. So I'm actually
Right. You're not showing up bummy with your $100 camera you got at the pawn shop. Like, hey man, like
yeah,
I
no,
shot
like,
some for my mom's birthday party last week, and they turned out great. With
yeah,
my,
no, like I've actually already got a little bit of work behind my name and everything. So when I showed up, it's like, okay, I'm already kind of familiar with your work and everything. He wasn't familiar with me. That was me. I'm more familiar with him and everything, but I already kind of know what I'm doing a little bit more. So actually, a couple of my shots he used in the music video. So he actually ended up crediting me and like tagged me as a collab and
Nice.
everything with that. So that
That's
was
dope.
actually, and I didn't ask for that from him. I didn't. It wasn't anything extra. Like I was taking it as an opportunity to learn free game, and the fact that he put my logo on there, he put my name on there and everything, and
That's dope.
actually made that a collaboration. Like I'm blessed. I'm grateful for that. So thank you to him for that.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
that's really cool.
That's a great story to tell, anyways. So, man, like, tell me how, with the videos and everything that you shoot and stuff like that. Tell me a day, in your life, bro. Like with being a photographer and shit like that. Because, like, I mean, I'm a host at a podcast. I couldn't tell you one thing about these cameras, and I couldn't.
So honestly, like I'll just give you like today. Today was actually a crazy busy day for me. More than I would normally be booked for. But normally that would probably do in a day. But I wake up, go through my morning routine and everything. I kind of I go through, make sure I've still got some pictures and stuff I need to send out to people. So I'm waiting for them to. I'm checking my responses, my replies, and everything, or my messages, and my replies, seeing if they've messaged me back, sent me emails or numbers or whatever to send them out. Because I don't like to send stuff out over social media a whole lot. In my opinion, the files get messed up.
They do.
Yeah, they don't like
It
they
compresses
don't.
them, and it does all weird.
And I don't. At that point, I don't want my work to be shared that way. It's if the
It waters it down.
Yeah, if the quality's not going to be what it is. So it's the same way if somebody's going to screenshot something of mine or whatever. I'd rather you reach out to me and just
the screenshot.
ask me permission for it, because in that case, I would just rather send you the footage so that you can post that straight up. Like actually, one of the podcasts that I shoot for, the main podcast I work with, the Heart of the 50 States. We just had Young Fate on there. I know he was just recently on here as well.
Right on your.
Yeah, so
right there.
so shout out Young Fate.
2 jets.
Yeah, 2 jets.
Yeah, he was just he just recently came on to Heart of the 50 for our season 2 episode 1. I seen he had posted the one mic that we recorded. I seen that he had posted on a Snapchat story, but I could immediately tell the quality of it. It looked like a screen recording, or it looked like it was like something taken from it. It looked just kind of grainy. So I just instantly swiped up. I'm like, hey bro, what's your email? I'm gonna send you the actual thing, and you can post that, promote it that way.
Exactly.
Right.
Like
Don't use this garbage.
I'd much rather you do it that way.
If you have the availability to do it, why not do it?
Well, because it
Absolutely.
saturates you know, that the podcast, it saturates a lot of things. So it's like I'm trying to make that shit A1, and when everybody sees it, it's A1. Not, hey man, I hear a squirrel in the back. The fuck is this?
Absolutely. Actually,
That's Chester.
It's Chester.
Yeah, it's Chester the squirrel. I've been feeding him a little bit every day. You
Right.
didn't know?
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, just a little bit of rock, you know. every
but,
day.
I'll go through and like make sure I can send everything out and kind of look for different stuff like that. Another podcast I work with is Party with Rocky podcast.
Yeah.
So DJ Rocky had called me earlier. I don't always shoot with them or work with every episode or everything that they do, but sometimes they'll let me know if they want extra camera, like need the extra person there. And since I'm a part of the studio there with them, I don't mind ever going down and being a part of it.
Yeah, it's a dope ass scene in that studio. I've been in there.
So he called me. He's like, hey, can you come down and help us with the podcast and everything? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. So went down there. Was down there for a few hours. We worked with the artists and everything that came through there. A couple of people, Midwest Mixtapes and Big Money Blitz. Shout out to them. They were hella dope. There was a couple other artists. Unfortunately, I had to end up leaving, so I didn't end up getting footage for them as well. But shout out to them as well.
True, you leaving here anyways and going to meet up with them again. So.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
But yeah, so they ended up here, and yeah, now I'm on the podcast.
Hey,
Yeah.
there we go. On what they
It
want.
just kind of evolves and
Yeah,
morphs
so
and manifests into something else.
It's very on the whim.
Because that's kind of how you and I
there's
connected, you
li-
know, just
li-
on a whim. Like,
Literally, what was it the
Yeah.
other night at Juke House there?
Uh-huh.
Nave had hit me up and asked me to come get some performance shots for him and everything. And I'm part of the studio with him and everything. So I'm like, of course, bro, I got you. Whatever. I don't mind
Sure,
coming
yeah.
out, having a good night versus just sitting in the house bored by myself. So I'll just pop out, get some performance shots, and
Yeah.
go home and actually end up meeting you guys. Got typed in with you guys.
Yep.
So
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened with me the other night. You know, Nave, he just hit me. He's like, hey, if you're doing nothing, blah, blah. And I mean, if he hits me, I pretty much pull up. It's already like, all right, cool. I mean, he hit me up like a few weeks ago, whatever like that, for his birthday. And he's like, hey, yeah, my family's having an event. And then me and him pulled up at his birthday event.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, he
With his palms and pops and everything. So,
I was about to say, so definitely shout out to Nave. He's a real dope artist
go,
out of
yeah.
KC here. He's got a lot of motion. He's not just an artist, engineer, producer, photographer, videographer. He does it all.
Yeah. Now, there was another guy that was performing there at the same time. He leaned over to me. He's like, hey, you heard, see this dude? I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, this dude's a superstar. I was like, uh-huh. He's probably one of the best in KC.
It's funny though, because there's a lot of people that don't realize how big, or I guess how much Nave's really done. Like he's
tune into the podcast that we did with him.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
literally, he's done a lot of different stuff. Of course he's got his hits Royal Blue and everything that done that, but he's done work with Tech 9. He's done work with Gucci Mane. He's
T Grizzly.
I didn't know he's worked with T Grizzly. That's dope as fuck. Also, so
My man.
that's,
I'm like, bro, I'm
Right.
like one of his biggest
He
fans, bro.
knows.
Like,
no,
he
like
knows.
that's
Snow
like
knows.
Nave's a lot of people I think like don't realize, like if they don't know who he is and they haven't heard of him, haven't seen him, definitely tap in with him. He's a dope guy.
he's like, he did sit with Gucci Man. I mean, like I said, bro, his resume goes way further than what we can even discuss.
Right.
You know, he has like new records coming out with Jazzy Faye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's crazy. And I mean, I'm not gonna say he's a local cat, but he's here in Kansas City, and like I feel like he deserves every rose that he can get.
Yeah, he's
Oh, that's
humble
not-
about it.
100%. That's the biggest thing. Also,
He's
That's
humble
what
about it. He's like,
see,
it just kind of happened. I was in the studio and Jazzy said, hey, that was cool.
I-
And
when
then,
I-
he was
right.
cool about it. I was like, damn.
when I first got introduced to him, like I mean, I got introduced to him Nave Monjo and stuff, but I didn't ever click two and two in my head. It wasn't actually until about after 6 months of knowing him. I was just riding around in my car one day. My song was playing on shuffle, and it was so that's how I found out he did the work with Gucci. The song by Gucci come on. It said featuring Nave Monjo.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, I know Nave Monjo. I went and looked at him
Matter
like,
of fact, that's in my
That's
phone. Hold on.
crazy.
I'm like, wait, no
That's
way.
crazy.
Hold on,
Is this really you?
The next time I seen him at the studio, I'm like, bro, I literally had no idea who you actually, like, the full extent of who you were. I knew what you did, but I didn't know who you were for
Right.
real. Like,
Nice
you
to
just,
meet you, sir.
You're
right.
the way he carries himself is so humble and just real cool about his shit. You wouldn't you wouldn't realize he's as big as he is.
Yeah, man, I think that's what makes him like so dope, bro. Because I mean, you see people that have the egos and with music, you know, being a photographer, all that stuff. You see somebody that you might idolize as a photographer, and you're like, man, like this dude's dope, and he's like,
A dick.
yeah, you got 10 minutes with me, like run this shit up.
There's definitely been like some of the more I'll call him like A-list, not to like discredit Monjo or anything like that, of course, while we're like moving on from him, but like just those mainstream like A-list type of artists and stuff that I've been their concerts and worked with, and it's like, or worked around, not necessarily worked directly with, but it's like, damn, I fuck with your music, I support your music, the image you portray and everything, cool, all that, but who you are actually as a person and how I've seen you conduct business and stuff, it's like, I'm cool on you. There's
yeah, you can literally turn that off button off real quick. You're like, I don't want to listen to that music anymore.
Yeah,
you know, even though it might be your best, that might be in your rotation every single day, but you're like, yeah, I've actually seen that, and I've seen the real version. I'm cool. So yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Nave, Monjo making magic. You know, shout out to that dude, man. He's my friend, family, whatever. I mean, that's how we got. Like I said, we got connected and shit like that. You're doing the full with that camera. This dude going everywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the shots. I'm gonna do it all. That's what, if you ask, if you want me to come do it for you, you book me and you pay me to be there for you. I'm gonna do it all.
You're
I'm
gonna
not,
go everywhere.
Yeah, like I'm not just gonna
half-ass it.
like half-ass it or anything. Like 100%. I'm gonna get. And honestly, I end up making it more work on myself, but because especially when it goes back to I'm down to sit to watch and review all the footage and edit everything.
You're right, now you got a gang stuff.
I end up making it so much more work for myself, but I give myself all the different possible shots. I give myself all the possible B-roll I can need. Like I'm gonna make sure I've got everything I need, because I've made the mistake of only getting one shot, like one kind of view from something, and then it's like,
like I should have did that differently.
Yeah,
right.
But you're a perfectionist, though. Like, I mean, like Tech Nine said in that one song, he's like, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Absolutely,
that's what you are.
And that's the same reason. Like I'm not gonna call myself like exclusive or anything like that, but I am picky about who I will and won't work with, because I don't want my name just to be stamped on anything, or I want all my work and everything that comes from me and that comes from 816 Stoney and Stoney Shot It is gonna be quality work. Like it's gonna be something that I'm comfortable actually stamping my name on. Like the way I'm building my brand and my name, it's like I said earlier, it's gonna be something that lasts long after I'm gone in dust. It's gonna be something that's long beyond me, but it's gonna mean something. If my name's on it, it's gonna carry weight with it.
Fuck yeah, I love that shit. I like that. I want to ask you, man, how the hell did you get linked with Rocky?
With Rocky, so that's
he still needs to come on the podcast.
Yeah, so shout out DJ Rocky Montana. That's my bro. We got the studio and everything together. I've been knowing Rocky probably about 3-4 years now, something like that. But that's again through my bro Chef Smokey. My bro Chef Smokey, he made a lot of the connections and everything I have possible. Just obviously he's a chef, but
it works out.
He gets booked for a lot of private parties, and he sells plates and stuff like that.
People love food.
Yeah, so
I love food. I'm fucking hungry right now.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody needs.
I was just at the studio with him, and actually, because I'm gonna send this to him when he watches this. Man, I still want that chicken wing, bro. That one singular chicken wing, dog. Like, I'm hungry. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, I just wanted one wing, man. He wouldn't let me get it.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what we were talking
about. Just one wing?
Just one wing.
And this is your guy,
he was holding the food hostage over a phone charger.
He would do that to me. He would do that to me over one chicken wing.
He said, until I get a charger, nobody gets no food.
I like that. Hey, man, shout out to you, bro. Hey,
yeah, you got to have boundaries. Shout out to boundaries.
Like, I'm not letting you eat this damn chicken. I'm hungry. Chicken is
so
expensive these
yeah,
days.
I'm about to go stop get some food when I leave here because I ain't getting none of Chef Smokey's food. But all his food is fire, all his food is gas. Look him up on Instagram. Reach out to him, book him. But me and him used to be roommates back in the day. Probably about like maybe going on about 5-6 years ago now, something like that. And he was literally selling plates out of the kitchen, and people would come through, and I just started meeting people. At the time, I wasn't doing the photography and videography professionally. I was just working a regular 9 to 5. Actually, I was the general manager of a Domino's. So
damn.
yeah. So that's what I was doing during that time, and from the time I'd wake up to leave to go run my store to the time I come back or get off after dropping my deposits off and everything and coming back, there'd be people coming in getting breakfast, people coming in buying food, lunch, people hanging out and everything, and I'm just like, sit, whatever. And at some point throughout that, between going out and dropping food off and stuff, I met Rocky. Honestly, I couldn't tell you exactly when or where.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
I've been around him so many times, but that's my dog. That's how I got locked in with him through Chef Smokey.
Bet.
That's crazy. So I'm still fixated on the fact that, because I was in hospitality for a long time, and there's a certain thing where, especially like when you get to the point where you're running a restaurant or an operation, a concept like that, you need to turn it off. So if you're going home and you're still slanging food out the house, and then you go to work and you're selling and food's being sold, so you're being around that all the time.
I was.
Oh my God, dude! Like, how
like,
was it stressful?
You never got burnt out?
I can't eat Domino's anymore.
Well, I know that.
I can't eat Domino's no more.
Because you end up with like 9 at the end.
The smell of mozzarella cheese now is just like
hits you wrong. Yeah, I worked for Papa John's for 6 months, and that's it. That's all you need to do. And
I can't do Domino's pizza anymore. It's not their food's still amazing. It's still great and everything. Then it's just I personally after running it for I ran it for 14 months.
Once you're on that side, once you're on the other side of the counter, it's different.
Yeah,
dude.
Free pizza.
It's different.
It ain't always good though. It's like
I ate a lot of Domino's too, so I definitely burnt myself out on that. But his food, I'm not gonna lie, he used to get mad at me because I'd come back, I love the way he does his cornbread. I don't know how he does it. His cornbread is one of his best selling things, among a handful of other menu items, but he makes them instead of like just a pan and cut into squares. He'll make them into muffins.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. In the little muffin pans.
Yeah, it'd be a bunch of people around and stuff. I thought I was being slick and stuff, so I'd go over there. I'd grab a couple. Cornbread.
It's
muffins.
easier to control. It's easier to control product when it's not in the pan that, dog.
So
that's the move.
Man, y'all work in the food business, or y'all did, you know.
He'd get upset with me for taking his cornbread because I mean that was his money and shit. But
right, because you can measure it out that way by ounce. Yeah.
But yeah. I'd be stealing his cornbread like when and where I could and stuff. And his food is fire. Some of his other signature dishes, he does these gumbo greens. They're fire. His tacos.
We need to stop talking about
tacos,
food. I'm hungry as shit right now.
I'm hungry. That's why I'm talking about it, because I'm just hungry. I'm like, I'm gonna start salivating shit.
Yeah, bro. It's like, man, we were off air and shit like that, and we were talking about all this other shit business wise, and then I was like, man, we need to run an episode. I said, let's run it, and then I was like,
let's run it. Yeah,
like, this dude got something to talk about for sure.
Yeah, you know, because I have a question going back to the camera stuff. You know, so I always wonder, now that you spent so much time actually being behind the camera, you know, going back to those situations now without a camera and just being, you know, at a show just to be at a show, you know, are you kind of like, damn, I kind of wish I had a camera because I want to go back, walk around there and...
Honestly, I can't even really say yes or no to that, because prior to doing all this camera stuff, like, I think I've only ever been to, like, maybe one concert.
Really? You just picked up a camera and said, hey, if I got a camera, I can go see all the things I want to see at the concert?
I already had the connections, like I said. I already had the people, so I'm like, well, I've already got kind of a niche and a way into this, so why not take advantage of what I have at my disposal? if
You're already around it, so you said, "Hey, man, I might as well preserve the
right,
moments."
instead of paying for tickets to be here and spending money to be here. Why not find a way to get paid to be here? Like, why not?
And enjoy it, right? You get
Yeah,
paid to
like
enjoy what
I
you're
can
around.
I can still hang out. I can still do it, have a good time,
You
do
put
whatever
that
I
on a
do.
t-shirt.
But
So,
I can get paid to do it. I
So,
can
at
get
what
paid to be
point
here.
did you know that was what you wanted to do? And it
Um,
wasn't just a hobby, and you're like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna go balls out and do it.
I just got tired of working for other people, man. Like
yeah.
I thankfully came into a position where I had a little bit of extra money, so I was able to invest in it because camera stuff is not cheap. Unfortunately, I picked one of the most expensive hobbies and careers to jump into.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a reason why that price is for the music video what it is.
Yeah, since last year starting this, I've probably invested closer to 10 to or between $10,000 and $12,000 in all my equipment, gear, studio, everything. Um, so I just took a risk and jumped off with it. I said this is gonna work. This is gonna pop for me. For me, it's not a matter of if this is gonna take off or if it's gonna happen. It's just when.
Yeah.
Like
That's dope.
there's no other way with it. And for about 8 months last year from doing this, this is all I did full time. I didn't work any other job. I would show up to events and places for free, not being paid to be there, just to network, just to get my name out there, just to get my brand out there, just to get known more. And I spent probably 3 or 4 of the 8 months doing that. And then I finally started to get paid. Finally started to get paid a little bit, and then it's not up till now. Actually, next weekend, the weekend of the 7th through the 8th, I just got my biggest booking. I get to go down to Houston and shoot a music video and shoot performance shots and be around some big artists. I'm gonna be down there for the spring break around Rob 49, Skilla Baby, and Natalie Nunn. And
Yeah,
it's
that'll be live.
GBAM Nuke. He's the one that booked me, so shout out to him, giving me the opportunity to go down there.
Hey, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. So this is your first time to travel like that?
Professionally doing this, yeah.
Mhm.
This is my first time traveling, first time getting booked to
So
do
it's
something
a
like
landmark.
it. But
That's
yeah,
what's up.
within a year, and I'm extremely blessed and grateful to have came into it because I know there's so many people that want to do this that would love to be in the exact position that I'm in right now. And the biggest advice that I could tell you is just to network. Don't be afraid to work for free. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and don't be afraid to talk to somebody, because your friends and your family and the people around you supporting you, that's always dope. That's always great. But the strangers are who's going to make you rich. The strangers are who's going to make you famous and become your fans. So just get out there and network, and don't be afraid to do something for free, because I've had more free working for free and doing opportunities for free lead to opportunities getting paid later. But that's also to say, don't let people take advantage of that. Don't. I've been. I had to fall down and realize it a couple times.
You have to have some boundaries, and you have to have some limits.
I've done a lot of free work for people, and then under the guise that, oh, I'm gonna pay you this later. If you do this for me now, we'll do this later. You'll get paid for this.
I'll
and then
scratch your back, you scratch mine.
nothing
once we
ever
get to
comes
this
from
point,
it.
yeah.
So it's don't
You know who you are.
don't don't be afraid to work for free, but don't let people take advantage of you and your kindness and your passion, because that's the biggest thing. Like doing this for me is my passion. I love to be able to capture, like I said, to be able to capture the moment and freeze that moment, and for people to be able to go back and relive it or watch it and experience it as many times over as they want to.
You took my next question right out of my mouth before I could even say it. I was like, man, what would you tell like a young person that's getting out and doing it? You know, that maybe might not know what the hell to do and shit like that. But you took it right out of my mouth. You're like, man, look, get out there, be uncomfortable, you know, network.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I was blessed to come into a little bit of money where I was able to actually invest in myself in this stuff and have the equipment and to be able to create the quality that I can to keep me at the level that I am, because I'm not, my connections and my relationships with people that got me in the door, that got my foot in the door and allowed me to be there in the first place. But it was my work that allowed me to stay in those rooms, that allowed me to come back over and over. So it's, and not just that, of how I conduct business and how I carry myself and do everything as well. If you tell somebody you're gonna do something, stand on your word as much as possible to it. If something comes up, and if I run behind on deadlines, I try to communicate with people. If I'm running behind, hey, I'm
Shit happens.
I'm gonna update you on this.
Shit happens. Everybody's got shit.
Yeah, I mean, so it, or if, because now I've for any work that I do now, I charge a deposit. It's 50% deposit up front. It's non-refundable. So if you book me, and I mean, because my minimum time slot is 2 hours, so you book me for 2 hours, you show up an hour late, I might work with you and give you that extra hour. I might, or just make that hour up on the back end there. I might just give you the hour, and that's what you got. You're not getting your money back. You're not getting anything else. I mean, but that's within reason. I mean, if it's something existential, like out of somebody's control, I'll work with you on it. I'm not an asshole. I'm not inhuman. And like, I understand shit happens. Shit happens.
Right. If your wife goes into labor, or your baby mama goes into labor, you can go to the hospital, and we can make up the date.
Something happens.
Things happen. Yeah, it's all about communication.
Is key, bro. Like, as long as you're like, hey, bro, look, I'm in the car, car's not starting, or whatever the case may be. It's like, hey, I'm just letting you know, my ETA might be 15 minutes late.
Well, that goes. Yeah, it's just the whole networking thing. It's like, treat people how you want to be treated. If you want,
since before I started doing the camera stuff, just being in the rooms I was being in and being around the people I just always showed love and showed support. Like, I still try not to. I mean, to try to hate on anybody or anything. Like, right. I mean, yeah, I'll get into shit with people. I've got my own judgments and everything about certain people and certain shit. But at the end of the day, I try to show love and show support in everything that I do, because I want the same thing back. You don't have to like me as a person. Like I said, I'm not a people person in the first place, so I respectfully could give about 2 shits less if you actually really like me at the end of the day.
Yep.
But if you see my work and you recognize that it's quality work, that it's good work, support that, because
you spend time and energy.
I mean. Right. I spent time and energy to create it and do it, but also everything of what I want to be able to do. Like I said, I want to be able to create something. By the time I'm gone in dust, I want to have created something that's giving back. That's not only something that people can go back and look back at my work, but it's creating opportunities for other people. So I want, eventually everything that I'm doing is going to be bigger than me and support more than me. So support me now, and you could be supporting your grandchildren later. You never know.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, no pun intended, but you're giving people what they want. And you're like, hey, man, like, this is my legacy, and this is what I'm going to, I mean, that's why, we created the pod and whatnot. It's like, dude, that's why we were sitting here off air and so like that talking. I'm like, man, run the video, Well,
that's the biggest reason why I mess with Snow, is because one of the things is that I don't have, there's a lot of people I don't mess with today because they don't share the same philosophy, where it's like, if I eat, everybody eats. You know what I mean? Everybody I'm cool with, we're gonna be good. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I mean? But they'll take advantage of it to a certain point if you let it, until so you got to realize. So it's like, that's why you got to keep the circle small, but when the circle's small, it's tight. You know what I mean? So that's why
it is tight.
The people we've had down here, the people on this board, a lot of them are locked in, because that's how it is, because we've developed that relationship. And you're right. It takes time to get out of your comfort zone and just be around. You know what I mean? But be open to suggestion, and be open to new opportunities.
Definitely
be humble,
take people's criticism, but take it constructively. Like, I mean, you're gonna have, especially doing what we do, is you guys doing with the podcast, me doing my work.
Media, yeah.
it's all online through the internet. People are gonna hate. People are gonna have opinions, but
All right. Oh, you're a mediocre podcast.
at the end of the
Okay,
day,
cool.
Shit, that you gave me the view, you gave me the engagement. I'm gonna
Yep.
I'm gonna like the comment. I'm gonna reply to it to keep my engagement, to keep everything good with it, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. Like there's so many people. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'll spend hours scrolling. I'll be on one reel and I'll be scrolling through all the comments, just reading the comments. The comments are more interesting than the reel.
Than the real.
Going back and forth.
I
I
turn
don't
the
give a fuck what you're saying, but what you're saying in the
I turn the
comments,
volume off after about the 10th time listening to it through there while I'm reading comments and just sit there and read comments. And people, I'm
That's
just
exactly
like,
what I do. Yeah.
it's why do people spend so much time typing out these long ass paragraphs of what they hate or what it is, what it's not, and all it's doing is increasing their engagement. I'll comment on something and I'll have people be reacting to my comment and replying to me or whatever, and I'm just like, this is giving me more attention on my page. Like
Right.
I
Thank
don't
you.
care if you
That's
think
why I
I'm
like it
right or
back.
wrong.
Right.
Yeah. That's what one of our reels that we did for one of our episodes, you know, like we were talking about Chamillitary, you know, that's my favorite rapper. But like I did it and I sent it to like a group that, you know, whatever, and then they're like, this fucking podcast is stupid. These people don't know shit. And they're
Shout out the group. What group was it?
Chamillitary Army. You know, but they actually ended up following, you know, once they figured like, oh, you're actually educating the guest on like Chamillitary and everything, like, okay, that's dope. But like they just thought we were just clickbaiting because it was like, oh, Chamillitary, and then like
Yeah, because the way I put the clip together, he's like,
Same.
yeah, it didn't have the whole thing where, oh, he signed my hat, and then he goes into the story. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it was just to get interested. Like, oh, he really is your favorite rapper? Well, here.
right. But the engagement was they're like, the fuck you talking about? Chamillitary is top 5. Like, what are y'all
Right.
talking about? Y'all don't know shit.
Right. They're like, no, 0, no.
Yeah, but the thing is like that. I mean, regardless of what it is like that. And created the engagement. Everybody was like, okay, I want to see what they got next. You know,
Facts.
are they gonna talk about Chamillitary again? Are they gonna talk about whatever? You know, it gets people to like subscribe and shit like that. You know, maybe I love the hate. You know, I embrace it at this point. I'm 30, about to be 36. Like I embrace it. If you took time out of your day to be like, hey man, this dude fucking sucks, I'd be like, shit.
I say thank you.
Well, I mean,
Thank you for telling me I suck.
I
and
just
tell
have a
me
different
why.
way of looking at things. I mean, I look at. I mean, somebody, I can't remember who it was. Somebody years ago told me that like perception's reality. So all of us perceive things differently. All of us live a different reality. You're not gonna like what I'm gonna like, and I'm not gonna like what you're gonna like necessarily. So I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna capture my art and create it the way I like. And there's gonna be people that love it. There's gonna be people that hate it. But oh well.
Let me ask you this then. Since we spoke about the Chamillitary thing, like, and you said the perspectives, all that shit.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Kevin Gates. Hands down, Kevin Gates is my number 1 favorite rapper. Yeah.
Explain this, man, Stoney. Hold on. Well, explain this, bro. How the hell? Kevin Gates. Now, don't get me wrong. I was a big ass hater on Kevin Gates,
Okay.
but I was talking to this chick and she was like, "Oh, it's Daddy Gates, Daddy Gates." I'm like, "Daddy Gates? You're
I don't know
calling
about
this dude-"
that. I don't know about Daddy
I know.
Gates.
There are some girls that are really like that.
They can be
I've
like
met
that.
some
I'm
chicks that
not-
are really like that with him.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted you to elaborate on it, because you're a dude, and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you, bro. Every single person that has told me that they're Kevin Gates
Is a chick.
yeah,
Is a
which
chick.
is crazy, because like he got women in there. Like I went to the last concert that he was here.
Yeah.
With Big X a Plug, and like this dude was like, he pulled the girl on stage, and he's like, "I'm about to spin you." I'm like, "What in the what?" And these women all next to me, "Oh my god, fucking love!" I'm like, bro, y'all are crazy. Y'all
So-
eating booties and shit like that. Shit you be talking about.
So as far as the sexual stuff goes and everything, I'm a freaky ass nasty dude myself.
Ah,
So
right.
Yeah.
So you turn it on and yeah.
So, but
Turn it on
like,
when you need to.
Satellites.
Yeah.
But no, I just a lot of his other music, like
Right.
He's got stuff with Starlito that's hot. He's got stuff with all sorts of
If
people.
you
that's
really
hot.
go back and listen through a lot of his
Yeah.
discography, like Did I pronounce that correctly? Is that actually the right way to say it? Discography?
Yeah.
Okay, because I always see the word, but I don't know if I'm ever saying it.
Discography.
Nah, you ahead of the scenes now.
Cool, yeah.
So he's like, I'm not behind, but yeah.
Yeah, so like you go like listen through all of his discography. Like, one, I love the evolution of his sound, of how he's grown and how he's
Yes.
changed. Of listening to his struggle, he's real, he's raw, and he's authentic. Like
I think that's why he connects a lot.
He's just gonna put it out there, and everything, in my opinion, he literally he lives what he raps. He stands on everything that he says, and that
He does.
and you know, whether it's because I mean, obviously I don't know him personally, so whether he's always been that way or whether it's a persona he created and and grew with and carried on, regardless, it's real and raw and authentic. Like
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That shit, the way he talked, he said, "Hey, listen, baby, now you gonna turn it this way, and I'm gonna eat this from this way to that way." I'm like, "What in the hell?" He's like, "You gotta nourish the pussy." Like,
He's correct.
right? But
He's
he's like, once you nourish it and then you turn it upside down, have her doing it. I'm like, bro, and then you just got these women just in there like, "Take me away." I'm like, the fuck. This dude just said all this crazy ass shit.
Yeah, no, he's.
But beyond the
it's-
sexual
dude.
shit though, too, like
Yeah.
I can sit there and say like I wasn't necessarily like a hater. Like I like the whole like his hits of like, you know, really, really, and don't get tired.
yeah, I'll say like as far as like, because that's like his radio music. I'll say
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I didn't really ever care for that. Like, I mean, it was cool. It comes on, but more times than not, if I'm listening to it in the car, if I'm listening to Kevin Gates in the car and those songs
skip
come
it
on, I
now.
skip them. I don't care for them. One, they're overplayed. Two, it's
He's got some deep tracks that are,
Yeah,
that are
like,
Well,
I-
good.
that's what I'm saying. Like I never knew that as a fan or whatever
Mhm.
like that. I was like, man, this dude is just the women thing and everything like that. But I was like, okay, what does this dude got besides I don't get tired? And then I listened to, I'm a butcher the name, but it's like Esla, his second album or third album.
I can't even think of the name of it now.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
with an I.
not Kaza. It's Isla or something like. But
Yeah,
it's off after named after one of his children. Yeah.
Yes, after his children, correct. But I was listening to that, and he has Wall Talking on there, which is a phenomenal record.
Walls Talking is off of what's that one? I'm gonna look that up now because I know that's not off that
I
album.
listened to Luca Brasi and all that. I mean,
Yeah, that was
the Luca Brasi series. I'm a big fan of, and I like a lot of his older work as well. Like, if you go back and listen to, shit, I can't even think. I'm high. We smoked
That's
before
all right.
this.
well, let me.
Let me see, because I'm gonna pull it up here real quick. Like his album All In, people
Yes, All In
like
was dope, yeah.
people don't realize like he's repping a KC hat and shit and that. Like, I mean, obviously I know it's representing something different. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know for certain. But
Hey, disclaimer
you know,
now.
I'm from
Right.
Kansas City. You wearing a Royals hat. That's dope.
Right.
Yep.
But like you go back, you listen through all that, and you listen to all the way up to his newer stuff.
I'm Him.
I'm him. Yep, that's the
That's
album.
it. Yeah, you're right. I'm him. Yeah. Shit, even when he came out with Thinking With My Dick, like that shit was
Right.
fucking crazy. I was
And
like,
that shit just went re-viral like 8,
Again.
10 years later because of
Yep.
TikTok. Like that should be inspiration for artists and other creatives and stuff yourself. Just because you do something now doesn't mean it's not gonna blow up later. Like it was a club hit kind of back then and popping what it was, but then
Yep.
look at social media trends and everything, how it just changed it.
Coming
But
right back, yeah.
it popped right back up to where it became trending. It was different remixes and stuff that came out about it.
yeah,
Like,
people were segmented into certain shit, and now they're doing dances to it. It's like, what the hell? You think
literally, like,
that's
Right.
TikTok though, bro? I mean, well, not even just TikTok, but that's just the world, man. It all comes full circle,
facts.
you know. But that's crazy. You said Kevin Gates. That's crazy. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I see it. Like, I definitely love Kevin Gates now. Like, but I was definitely like, who is this guy?
You know, even though he's been to Kansas City a couple of times, I've actually never even been to see him in person. Like, I know the first, I don't know if it was the first time he came. The first time I remember him coming was when, this was before Rod Wave was big. Rod Wave came with him.
Yeah.
Here, this was
Yeah,
like
he
this
got
was
Rod
this was
Wave on.
right before Rod Wave blew up, and I'm not saying like Kevin Gates was responsible for that or anything by any means type shit, but
It seemed like it.
he
anyway.
definitely helped his success
Right.
because I mean, even if you listen to his newer stuff, he even shouts out Rod Wave and
Yeah.
talks about him and stuff. So
Well, he did that. He just did that with Big X a Plug.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
nobody knew. Even when I went to that concert, I was like, Okay, cool.
I
Who
had
was the
heard some
headliner?
of Big X's music before I seen him come on here. So when he brought Big X, I already kind of was a little bit more familiar with him. But it seems like he kind of gave them a
But he
little bit
never
more
blew
traction.
up though. Like
Yeah.
when he was rapping the songs that he was rapping at that concert, I was like, I don't know any of this shit. I'm like, yeah, he's pretty dope, and I liked some of the shit he was doing. But then he came out with and then all them big records, and now he's bigger than
Yeah.
selling out the Granada and all types of shit. Like when it
Right.
came when he pulls up. But I mean, I think Kevin Gates definitely has his ear to the streets at all times. Like 'cause
For sure.
he pulls
He's
people
done
together.
he's done a lot to create a lot of opportunities for a lot of different people, and that's another thing. Like just
Right.
as a person, yeah,
That's a
watching
cool thing to do.
watching some of his interviews and stuff, it can get a little kind of weird and kind of out there. Sometimes I don't necessarily agree
Yeah,
with
I've seen it,
everything,
yeah.
but I can respect it. It's his perspective. It's how he perceives his reality and how he lives his life.
And that's all that matters.
I respect it, and it's it's cool because shit, it gives some people love it, some people don't, and other people like I know like I've got different playlists for different stuff, and
Right.
Kevin Gates is in a lot of those different playlists. I've been down depressed and stuff before, and listening to his music, and it's helped make me feel better and shit.
Yeah.
And like so, I mean, he's created something that helps people.
Bro, Walt
He had that
talking
one.
got
What
me
if
through so much
God
shit.
was one
Bro.
of us? He had that one. Like that's on one of my mixes that I listen
Well,
to.
I've
at
had
certain
my
times.
heart broken. The most toxic. This should be like the toxic thing anthem, but that supposed to be in love.
Yeah.
I've had my little heart broken. Been singing that to my soul out to that in the car.
Hey man, just
Yeah.
like that one of that new
Blowing up the
record.
phone.
He said,
Let's see.
Yonsei, I'll be on twerk. He's like, he's like, big booty bitch, make you see it work. It's like, he's like, but yeah, I mean, like his like Walls talking got me through a lot of my shit. Like I went through a divorce and shit like that, and I was listening. I'm like, I feel like dude, Walls talking to me. It's like I'm a prisoner in my own mind, and it's like that's fucking right. Like literally, like the depression and shit. You're like, I am a prisoner in my own mind. You can sit here and talk to me every single day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm great, bro. How you doing? And then in the back of the day, I'm like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
But you be stuck in
When
your
you're
own
alone
mind.
with yourself, all you have is yourself.
Yeah, you
gotta.
yeah. That's
gotta
why like
be-
your worst enemy. Like they're like you got too many demons locked in. So it's like let that shit out.
Facts.
But music and art, everything, all this shit, man, it all shit. This podcast saved my life. You know what I'm saying? So shit, it is what it is. I was deep down and shit, so started putting my passion into this shit, and look where I'm at now. I ain't
Shit.
the greatest, but I'm damn sure a little bit more happy than what I was.
I mean, it's growing with it, man. It's
Right.
like it's with the podcast and everything. Like it's only going to continue to grow, only going to get bigger and everything. Like the more energy and the more passion you guys remain about it, the bigger it's going to become. I mean, like you said, we just met each other 2-3 days ago, just
Right.
at
Yeah.
an event. Now coming on here and dope, it's cool. Like I'd be more than happy to ever
Right.
like come back again or to be able to collaborate with you guys on anything.
Facts for sure, man. So man, let's start to wrap this up, man. As we get done, tell the people where they find you at.
Man, on Instagram you can find me 816 Stoney Shot It. Jamie Kennedy on Facebook, spelled a little different. It's Jaymie. My mom couldn't spell it normal. Yeah.
That's cool. I'll put it down below for everybody.
But Jaymie and Kennedy. If you want to add me on Snapchat, because I also post a lot of my work on Snapchat and promote through Snapchat as well. It's 816 Stoney B. Feel free if you want to book me for any work, photo shoots, video, promo, behind the scenes. If you're a photographer, videographer, and you want to get some shots of yourself working, let me know. I'd love to collaborate. I'm always looking to network and grow. So just hit me up and reach out.
Well, there you
That's
go,
what's
man.
up. So I got one more question as we wrap this down. So
For sure.
we just met, and it's kind of cool how it organically came. Came to pass. Now you're here and sitting in the chair. Who would you like to see in the chair next? And now, that being said, the caveat is it will want to be something that's right for the chair, but you got to help get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out a couple local artists. I think you guys should try to get on to sit down, have a talk. I would say either Ruhart or Mac Blue. Either one of those. They're both two already pretty big artists that are coming up. they're both actually from Memphis, but they've been here in Kansas City. They've been repping, putting on for Kansas City for a little bit. So, shout out to Blue and shout out to Rue. I'd see about trying to get one of them on the show, sit down for an interview. They're both pretty dope.
Solid.
If you guys like, I could get you their managers' informations.
Solid.
I'm with it.
Yeah, we like. Yeah, we like.
Especially from Memphis
that's how
too.
it is.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah, one plug creates another outlet.
Oh, you literally said the cast come and join at the end.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, they do. That's how they know it's everything's cool.
All right, man. Well, there y'all have it, man. Another episode of What They Want podcast. I'm your boy Snow.
Danny Slab.
816 Stoney.
Hey, there y'all go, man. Till next time.
I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want.